Have you ever tried painting with a fork or draw with a Q-tip? Well, I did, and it was so much fun that I tried even more weird stuff. Hi, I'm Dr. Shazia, your art buddy. And if you love secret art tips, fun painting demos, and brutally honest art supply reviews, then you're welcome to Conversations with Canvas, your space for all that art musty. You know what? Last week my desk was a complete mess and this palette knife was missing. The paint was drying and all I could find was this old credit card. So I thought might as well put it to some use, after all there's zero paisa in it. And guess what? It worked. And that's when I started testing the weirdest stuff I could find, and today you're getting that whole quirky list. It's Q day in my still life paint challenge, but I'm skipping the usual still life and I'm going to be showing you quirky tools that are totally free and so shockingly good. Starting this quirky list with a good old credit card, which actually offers limitless creativity. Now I use it to apply gesso. I'm showing it on a black paper so you can see how thin the layer spreads, and once it dries pretty quick also. You can apply more layers to it to get a really good coverage of gesso. I like to use it as a palette knife to apply really thick paint. Now this creates texture which is similar to a palette knife. Now if I want a shorter edge of the card, I also can cut it out to a smaller size so that I have the exact edge that I want while painting with it as a palette knife. Another thing that you could do which really creates wonderful texture is scrape out the paint that you've applied with this credit card. And of course, it's also good for painting really thin straight lines with its edge. From swiping paint with the card, I'm moving on to my favorite tool, the bamboo skewer. No, I'm not going to be teaching you how to make kebabs today. This is my go-to tool to sketch loosely. I just dip it in ink or any diluted paint, and it's so easy to create free-flowing lines effortlessly. I love to paint branches with it, and anytime that I feel that my sketches are going too tight, this humble skewer always comes to my rescue. And that's not all. The skewer is a great carving tool to scratch through thick layers of paint, and if like me you can't sign your name with a paintbrush, just scratch into the thick paint and sign like a total pro. Now tool number 3 deserves all your ears because it's the tiny humble Q-tip. Now it's a really fun tool to create dot art, and my kids use it quite a lot of times as a mini circle stamp to create these dot arts. But I like to use it as a brush to create these soft wispy textures. But I think the best way to use this is to use it to blend oil pastels. I just don't like getting my hands dirty with oil pastels, and this tool helps me create these soft blends without just being too messy. Just use a clean Q-tip, blend it from light to dark, and voila, you have a great blend. And if this Q-tip gets dirty, it's always easy to grab another one. It's quite cheap. Moving on to tool number 4, it is the ultimate texture team, the good old fork and the comb. The fork is perfect for scratching into thick paint, gesso or modeling paste. Now you can add really beautiful messy thick grass with this humble fork. It is great to create a lot of thick texture with beautiful lines. The comb definitely brings in the same kind of texture, but it is more in control, and you can create or carve really thick parallel lines with it, or you could even press it sideways and use it as a stamp. So the next time you're painting hair or grass, ditch your brush and palette knife and try these tools. From texture, I'm moving on to a whole new category, the stamping tools, and these two are straight out from my recycling bin, the bubble wrap and the piece of cardboard. Starting with the bubble wrap, I just brush a little paint over it and press it down. Now it stamps out these really organic bubbly patterns which are great to suggest texture in florals, underwater scenes, and you could even use it in abstract backgrounds. As for the cardboard, I just peel off the top layer to reveal the corrugated pattern and then use it as a stamp to stamp out grungy lines. I actually love both these tools as there is something really satisfying about upcycling trash. Tool number 6 is soft, squishy, and it is full of surprises. You can go in with a basic kitchen sponge, or you could get fancy with a sea sponge for more texture. Either way, they are both purely magical to paint beautiful blends. The colors just melt into each other with a dreamy soft finish, and this is great for painting skies, clouds, and even blended abstract backgrounds. Another interesting way that I like to use it is like a stamp to create these organic irregular patterns which really look wonderful as an abstract background. So the next time you see someone scrubbing dishes with it, just grab it and say that I know a fun way to use the sponge. The next tool is super clingy, but for once you're going to love this clingy plastic wrap. You have to just wet the surface, drop in some colors, squish on a piece of plastic wrap over it, and then do the hardest part, that is walk away and let it dry. On peeling this, once the whole surface is dry, you'll get this gorgeous, unpredictable texture. It's one of my favorite ways to start a loose piece or create an abstract background. This tool is not just super clingy, but it also is super creative. The final tool is the trusty old tissue paper. And if you're just using it to wipe your dirty brushes, that's just the tip of the iceberg. You know what? You can crumble it, glue it down, and collage it to have an instant wrinkly background. And if you're working with watercolors, it's the perfect tool to lift out paint from a wet wash. But my favorite way to use it would be to paint with it. Yes, you heard it right. The results are super loose organic marks which are full of energy. For sure, this tool is fragile, but in the right hands, it's a secret art weapon. Collage it, layer it, paint with it. The creativity is limitless with this tool. And that wraps up the 8 quirky non art tools that totally deserve a spot in your art studio. Which one are you going to try out first? Or do you already have a secret tool that isn't technically art approved? Share it in the comments as I'd love to add it to my collection of creative chaos. Next week is letter R and it's going to be really interesting. Until then, take care, keep creating, and I'll see you soon for more art magic on Conversations with Canvas. Bye.